Hey, what's up guys, it's TrapPixium here, coming at you with a new series designed to look at the lore of Warframe. Why? Simple really. I love Warframe and I love its lore, and this is how I want to express that love by providing as much information about the game as possible for players new and old to follow and keep up with. So let's start with a prolific character in Warframe. So infamous that he's the main surviving outcast, and I do mean outcast, of the Zariman 10-0 incident. Rell. Ah yes, everyone's favorite Harrow in Warframe. Sadly, everyone's favorite chain-wielding outcast didn't have it easy. You see, Rell was autistic. Actually autistic. Asperger's syndrome to be exact. And was harassed mercilessly by the other kids aboard the ship. Rell was usually left alone with no one but his mother Kay to help him and work on overcoming his Asperger's. Rell didn't understand emotions. He had cards to help him learn about emotions and little faces on them to help them identify. Rell also had a device called a Donda to help focus his mind and help deal with his sensations that overwhelmed him, like sound, color, and touch. Sadly, as fate would have it, Rell's life was about to get worse. When the Zariman entered the void, all the adults seemingly lost their minds, including his mother Kay. And Rell, like most of the children, began to gain powers. But unlike most kids, Rell gained powers of the void itself. Kay, slowly losing herself to madness, told Rell to go be with the other children, and upon doing so, was met by rejection of the group. So Rell was left to fend for himself. At one point, Rell was attacked by a group of adults, one of which being Kay herself. Now being turned fully mad, Rell stopped her using a void beam, presumably killing her, and Rell stated that Kay wasn't his mother, and that was someone else. Not just someone, something else. A cold statement that lends to a colder reality for our void priest. After the events of the Zariman, all the children now referred to as Tenno were put into combat to help with the old war. Rell, not being combat fit, was cast out by the Irokans and instead taken into the Red Veil. They learned from him about it being referred to as the Man in the Wall, an entity of the void that haunted Rell. Since he was never put into cryosleep like the other Tenno, Rell did something else. You see, he had become worried about the Man in the Wall and what his intentions were. So Rell performed a ritual that sealed himself and the man in his Warframe. We both know that Warframe is Harrow. The veil then hid Rell in a derelict. This was until the player's interactions in the Chains of Harrow quest, where his mind begins to splinter from his vessel, and it is on us to recover the fragments of his mind. Rell repeatedly warns us that the Man in the Wall is learning and listening, and he's growing stronger. This was until Lotus and Oris explained that the void can cause delusions and loss of control over transference, the process used to connect operators to warframes. Palladino then instructs us to destroy the vessel holding Rell. Freeing him, weakened, Rell was then allowed to rest, and places the holding off of the Man in the Wall onto all Tenno. So, that was Rell. A man dedicated to holding himself back from the void, with nothing but the void itself and his own Warframe. Thank you guys very much for watching and listening. I appreciate it. If you guys could leave some comments onto what you guys think of my readings in the series, I would very much so appreciate it, and I would love if you guys were to support this on Patreon. I'll leave a link below in the description. Thank you guys very much for watching, and may the Lotus smile upon you.